So all right, everybody. Here's what we're going to review. We're going to review tanks of the modern age. This is a game by Gale Force 9. Pretty nice box, pretty hefty box. I'm going to show you what comes in it. It won't take up too much of your time. It's going to contain three tanks, an M1 and two Soviet T-64s. This starter box runs generally, I think right about $30. However, I got mine slightly cheaper. If you look around online, you'll find different prices. So let's see what's inside. Inside, you're going to get three models. They are very well detailed. Very nice tanks when you put them together. And as complicated as this looks, it's really easy. So you get two of the T-64s. And you're going to get one of the M1 Abrams here. And again, very nicely detailed. You're going to get, they're small dice, but you're going to get more than enough dice to play the game to adequately get you going. I'll explain these here in a moment. Here's your instructions for putting these tanks together. You can just take a brief look here at the Soviet T-64. It is very simple. It's very simple. There's very few parts on that screw. And on the back side, instructions for getting the M1 also. And the nice thing is, even if you are not quite sure, you have the pictures, so it is really self-explanatory. Okay, you get a pretty detailed rule book here. Tells you what's on which page, kind of gives you a world map of things, and here you go. Look at this. This is the rule book. So you're going to have plenty to play with. You're going to have American forces, Soviet forces, French, British, West German, and then this shows you what's on the cards. Now these cards, set this here for a second. It's this pack. There's quite a few cards in here. I got it started open because they're actually kind of a pain to open. Let's see here. So these are crew cards. I'll show you in a second what that does. So let's open these up. Here are the cards for your tanks. So depending on the vehicle that you have, and in this actually they're going to have helicopters. So here's one of the Abrams cards. So let's show you something. See how nicely done this is. It's going to tell you this blue number is initiative. That helps in your movements. This is your attack, how many dice you roll. This is the armor you start off with, but this goes up depending on how many moves you make. So your armor starts at a 2, and you've moved 2, this is going to be a 4, which is significant in this game. And then that's how much damage your tank can take. It may not seem like much, but that's a pretty high number in this game. Of course, up here are the cost for this tank. And then this will give you just an idea, like this one has an advanced stabilizer. It lets you reroll up to 2 attack dice. That's pretty good because honestly, you're rolling 4. So it's letting you roll 50% reroll. So if you have 2 of those 4 dice that you don't like, you can reroll those 2. That is a significant advantage. And it tells you little things. All these cards give you different stats. And while some look like they don't have the best stats, their maneuverability or how much they can move or their initiative makes up for it. And there's always a description here in the cards. It comes with a lot. So no matter what other tanks you get, you're pretty set. So that's just this deck. We'll put that over here. These are add-on cards. So if you notice, say for instance on, well, that may not work this one. So on these cards, there's slots. I don't know how well you can see those little slots. So these cards, they're upgrade cards. So some will have just 1 upgrade slot, some will have 4. Of course, these cards have points. So say you're building a 100-point army. Then you got to take into account the cost of your tank, the cost of the upgrades, what you can and can't do. And just like a lot of other games, these upgrade cards allow you a great deal of things you can add to it and do. So you're getting a lot. And I'm telling you, these are quality cards. They're not junk. They're nicely done. These are what you consider your critical cards. In this game, you can take what's called critical damage. These are set off on the side and they're random. So it just does things. So if you roll a critical, which is a 6, they would have to draw this. This says a lucky hit, 2 more damage. So the person you're shooting takes 2 more damage. This can damage their equipment. Some of this makes your injured crew, makes your crew cards no good. Jam mechanism, maybe the tank can't fight or move, or mobility. Some have this icon that are repairable. So it's not a complicated game, even if it sounds like it. It's actually fairly simple. The instructions here breaks down all these little things, show you what's what on the card and how to use it. This round is going to have helicopters. You're going to be able to buy them separately. You can add tanks. They run about right anywhere from like $7.99 to $9.99 a model, you know. So the nice thing is you're just building it according to your paycheck. If you're like me and you're somebody that basically lives on a very tight budget, like most of us Americans have to do, then squeezing out $10 you could do here and there, and you can start building your forces. But it gives you scenarios. The rule book is, I mean, it's nice. Again, it's not anywhere close to being a junk rule book. So you're getting a lot of quality in this game, I feel. And then the last part of the game here, I'll get this out. This is kind of cool. Now this comes with some punch-out terrain. Actually, this is quite a bit bigger than you think, and it is very thick. See that? So, and it's nicely done. And so you can see how big this is compared to my hand. Of course, it's double-sided, and you can be used. It's going to come also with punch-outs that you need for the game. Damage tokens. And this is the roof. It's the rooftops of buildings. You can place those down. The reason you have rooftops is, you know, some of your stuff's not going to be able to go over around. These are cover, movement tokens and other things. And it's dual-sided. So here you go. Here's damaged building. See, the building's busted up. The roof's busted in. The tokens, if you notice, they're printed on both sides. You can alternate what numbers you need. It actually gives you more than you think to play with. These are destroyed tokens on this side, and these are different numbers you're going to use. So you get that. You're also getting this third one. Again, it's pretty thick cardboard. These are movement arrows that you punch out. Actually kind of a digital camel pattern. The nice thing with these is your tank model will fit right up in there. You can move the tank in any direction. This makes sure that everyone's moving the correct distance. You can move any distance. You're not going to be locked into having to go all this way. Maybe you only need to move a bit. Usually you can move 2 arrows length on a table. So if you look around at your standard table here, you know, you have some room, you're going to be able to move pretty easily. It does come with templates for the helicopters, where this says high on this side. On the other side, they can be flipped over and used as low. That's going to let you put in front of the base of the helicopters for the game, so you can determine what elevation. Are they low elevation? That affects gameplay. Or the high elevation. And so when you play, there's no mistake. Somebody can't say, oh, I'm not sure, or I forgot. Then you get this advantage. This advantage punch out is pretty cool, because when you start the game, you're going to roll to see who has advantage. And what I mean by that is, in this game, it goes off the initiatives that we saw on the cards, the blue numbers. So depending on your initiative, depending on who moves first. So say me and you both had 8 is an initiative. Well, whose turn is it to go first then? If I have the initiative card, it's my turn. If you have the initiative card, it's your turn. And interestingly, what they did with the game this time is instead of rolling at the beginning and one person have an initiative through the entire game, this is going to change every round at the end, I believe. You're going to roll. So one person can keep the initiative maybe 2 or 3 times in a row, but at some point the initiative is going to change and it's going to go around the table. This is a good starter set for 2 people. I got my wife into this. I would recommend to get your significant other into the gaming. It's very simple. It also means when you go buy things, you're not going to have to fight for it either. So that's it. That's the basics of it. I think for the money, you're getting way worth your money. Again, these cards, the camera's not going to do them justice. They are very, very nicely done. They're pretty solid, and they're pretty thick cards. They're not flimsy by any means. They are pretty highly detailed and very, very much full of what you need to get going. So you also have more cards than you have models, meaning you can use other models also. I'll bet you can find the same tank and use the card with it. So it's quite interesting. So I think what I did here for this is these cards here, because I have the original tank game too. So I just went and got a little deck box. I think it should work to store the cards, and deck boxes are, less than $2 most places, sometimes up to 3. Where I went to one of the stores in the area, I believe I paid $1.59 for Ultra Pro deck box, and I know some places maybe it's $3. But anyways, it'll store your cards. I think that's what I'm going to do, and it would fit in the box, I believe. So you get quite a bit. I just wanted to go through that. It's a very interesting game. It's fairly fast. Now, these upgrades that you can do to the crews and add crew upgrades, some are universal, some are country specific, and so you have a wide variety of how to build a small force. But the thing with tabletop gaming anymore is, you guys, is sometimes you don't have 3 or 4 hours to sit down and play. I don't know about you, but life these days seems to be pretty hectic. So a game like this lets you actually sit and interact with another person in game. And, maybe it's only a 20, 30-minute game. It might maybe drag out an hour, but generally these are pretty fast games. So it's pretty neat. And again, the models are detailed. You can add to it. They're already out. You can buy whatever you want, build whatever army you want. And that's it. That's my review for this. I've played the other Gale Force 9 tank, the World War II version. I was pretty happy with that. This one, the modern age, is going to be fun. They've significantly clarified some of the rules that were kind of obscure. So, but value for your money these days. Everybody's looking for value, huh? Right down to the box you can store your stuff in. It's all very well done. None of it is cheaply done. There's no cheap feel to it. The dice, they're adequate to play with, and I know you can get country-specific dice that are a bigger size. You may want to do that. But that's it. That ends this review. I would get the game. Enjoy.